Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the twin flames and healing original separation. We're going to dive into the separation and how we're healing the separation wounds to restore the divine union between masculine and feminine, and how this all started in the first place, why we are separated now, and why during this ascension cycle we are reestablishing the order of things, the divine order of things, the divine creation codes are being re-established. So I have another video on the Eden codes, or about coming back to Eden, and this is going to be kind of similar to that, because we're going to talk about the original creation codes and how we're coming back to that original creation, and how at the beginning of this fall, and when we experienced the fall, originally we began to then come into this 3D separated consciousness state, and that is when the original separation began. So a lot of divine feminines are also healing wounds going back to that point, and so this can actually be things to do with the original separation when Lemuria or Atlantis existed on this planet. So you may actually be going through healings of those timelines as well, because we've got timelines of separation even in those times, and this is how far it goes back. So as far as the separation, it actually began when the soul split, when the soul started to fragment. And this is why we are under this fragmented state of consciousness at this time. And this is the daisy of death symbol, or this daisy of death symbol as they call it in the New Age. You will see this daisy of death symbol, and this is actually the fragmented state of consciousness. This is what it represents. So we have been under this code on this planet, and the reason why we're not able to come out of separation is because we're actually under this false code. So this is when we fell into the alien control on this planet. So this goes back to a very long time, and take what resonates for you on your journey at this time, because it may not resonate for everybody, but this is just a history also of the planet, and why we're experiencing what we're experiencing at this now moment in this timeline. But we are also in a very rapid ascension timeline or ascension cycle that's happening right now to restore all the separation between the masculine and the feminine. And so the original separation that we experienced is what we're restoring right now. So we've got a lot of these programs, these wounds, these traumas going back to the original separation. We've got things that you may be clearing to do with being forced to be married to someone else, like these breeder programs, being afraid of childbirth, and all these things, because actually this is part of when the alien invasion happened too, and they actually took out the feminines at that point. And this is when a lot of the aliens started to come here, the negative aliens. So we've got a lot of these programs actually as implants also within us, especially for the feminines, the feminine polarity. She is really going through a process of healing all of that out. And so this goes back to the original fall, and so we're really clearing out a lot of timelines since then. So that's why it feels like you're clearing a lot on this journey. You're clearing all these past false timelines and these alien timelines, or this alien machinery, which is actually encoded in the DNA. And so you're actually purging all that out. And so when the sun comes in with the solar activity that we're experiencing, we're then activating all of this in our aura, in our energy, to then be cleared out, and we're activating into the original code so we can merge polarity. And the merging of polarity on this journey is really about unifying the soul, unifying that one soul, and unifying masculine and feminine. And that's when the masculine and feminine can start to co-create, and you're feeling your twin more energetically, you're having more telepathy with them, you're really shifting into alignment to divine union. You're removing all the false AI, all the false codes to restore the divine union within yourself, so that internal inner union also starts to come online. And that's the first step. And then we're starting to merge that polarity more and more when we get rid of the wall of separation, because the wall of separation is creating that polarity, creating that separation. So we're removing all of that through this process of healing the original separation wounds. And there are different ones for everyone. And for a lot of divine feminines, you're really going through a process of healing a lot of this original separation and this polarity, these polarity wounds between the masculine and the feminine. So that's what's playing out in your dynamic, because that's what we're focused on this process. That's why you have your divine counterpart, because it's a process of healing all of that polarity, and that's the imbalance between the masculine and the feminine, so that you can come into that unification. So what we're going through is a huge restoration of the divine creation codes. As the sun activity is heightened during this time, we're restoring all of those codes on this planet. So it's the original codes of divine creation. All of that is coming back. This is the Christ pattern. And I've talked about this many times before in my other videos, but originally this is what we were meant to coexist in. We were meant to be existing by this Christ code. And so as we fell, all of the codes got corrupted, and we are now really working on all of that through this process of ascension. A lot of us hold these higher codes. Some of us, we hold these higher codes for others. And so as we activate this in our DNA, we're really then able to share these codes with others, because this is the original codes of creation. This is natural law. And divine union is natural creation. We were meant to be created as opposites. We were meant to co-create with our divine counterpart in harmonious union. We haven't had that because we've got all the separation timelines. We've got all these fragments and these soul fragments and these past lives, which is basically parallel lives that are affecting us in the now. So this is what a lot of you are also clearing, and including your divine masculine, because you've got different clearings to do for this individual incarnation. And that's what you're focused on in this ascension cycle right now, to really break down that wall, because the divine masculine has to also come into their power and their sovereignty and the inner union. And so that also is happening as a result of the divine feminine shifting into her power, because divine masculine follows divine feminine. So we're going through a huge restoration on the planetary level right now, really to come back to divine union and restore all the divine creation codes, all the Eden codes. All of that is coming back to the planet, because that is what we're in right now, this huge ascension. And we've got the solar activity that is helping us, because the solar light is helping us to clear out this false code, so that we can come into divine union. We can get rid of all of this alien machinery, basically, that's not authentic to our blueprint, that is inorganic to our blueprint. And we're really getting rid of that. And this is all of the wounds and traumas and these past timelines. They're all coming out right now because of the sun helping us purge all of this out in a very, very fast and rapid way. So both counterparts will be feeling this more and more in the next few years, as this solar activity is really getting very strong and powerful in the next few years. And even this year, it's very much at a maximum, because we have to go quickly now, and we have to clear everything out to really align to divine union, to merge polarity, the masculine and the feminine, to come into that unity. And that's really when you're starting to feel that internal union building more and more, because unification is happening, because you're getting rid of everything that is polarizing the inner masculine and inner feminine. And that's also what's happening outside of you with your external counterpart. So you're coming into this Merkabah, you're building that Merkabah of unity within yourself. And that's really that internal union when the masculine and the feminine merge, because it's all physics, and this whole creation is based on quantum physics and quantum laws and universal laws. And so all of this is being restored through this process of ascension, because we have to abide by natural laws of creation. And that's when you're really in that alignment. That's when you're in alignment to the soul, because the soul is created from original God source. And when you're aligned to that, you're naturally aligned to the laws of creation, to the natural laws. You're not bound to this matrix anymore, because that matrix structure, the 3D matrix, is an artificial grid. It's not it was created by the fallen angels or the aliens, or the dark forces. Basically, they've created this matrix. It's not organic to our creation and never was. So we have to actually shift all of that out of ourselves and come back to the original codes of divine creation. And this is a big process, but it is a process that is really supported right now during this time of ascension. And all of you are getting the divine support in every way possible to attain your union. So you have to trust this process, even though this is getting, sometimes this process is really difficult, especially when we've got that separation happening. You have to trust that all is unfolding in divine time for you, and that all the natural creation codes are being restored, so that you can actually come into unity within yourself, which is the first thing, which is really important. And then, the divine masculine shifts after, because that is just the way it works with this process of masculine following feminine. So if you want more support on this journey, if you want more like transmissions, meditations, healings, I have a lot on Patreon. I just posted a transmission to heal the original separation timelines. So that's a very powerful one. And I do these transmissions because it's part of my soul purpose. This is what I do. I transmit energy. I activate codes within your DNA. And I clear also everything within for you in these transmissions and meditations. So if you want more help and support, the Patreon is great for that, because we've got lots of content on there extra to help you and guide you. And also we've got these powerful transmissions and meditations on there too. If you want more, coaching, I do coaching one-on-one. And I've got my powerful inner union course, which is great for you on this journey, because it's there to help you really come into your own internal union, because that is really the first thing that you need to come into on this journey. So that is a really great course if you want to go deeper with that. I send you so much love on this journey. It is very much an accelerated time right now, and I'm sure you can all feel the intensity of this time that we're in. I send you so much love, and I will connect with you in the next video.